The Gratitude Show.
Welcome to the Gratitude Show. My name is Fahnbulleh. The Gratitude Show is a component of the Join Me Thank America project. The Join Me Thank America project, as you know, is a stewardship international initiative. On today's edition, we are privileged to be joined by Ms. Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh. Ms. Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh is associated with the Let's Girls Learn program. She's also a beneficiary of the YES program. The YES program is a State Department initiative, student exchange program. Ms. Show-Masoline is currently the president of the Alumni Association of the YES program in Liberia. Join us. We are seated right at the edge of the St. Paul's River on Bushro Island. Bushro Island is, of course, right outside the capital of Liberia, Monrovia in West Africa. Join me as we take on Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh today.
The Gratitude Show.
At different times in my life, I was a refugee, an internally displaced person, and most recently, a beneficiary of the temporary protected status in the United States. All this while, America, the most generous nation on planet, has always been a help. More than race, nationality, creed, and gender, what our world shares in common is the generosity of America. America is not the happiest nation on planet, but America has placed smile on the faces of people like no other country in the world. Join me, thank America. With the price of money, time, sweat, blood, skills, and sometimes lives, America is saving lives and restoring hope in all corners of our world, and at the same time creating most of the most successful people.
The Gratitude Show.
I have my story of gratitude to America. You have yours. No one can better tell your story than you.
Stewardship International, the Join Me Thank America project presents The Gratitude Show. Join Fahnbulleh on The Gratitude Show every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and Sunday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Prime TV. The Gratitude Show.
To the Gratitude Show.
Thank you, Mr. Molva.
Yeah, we're very happy to have you today.
Me too, thanks.
Good. First thing first, people mistake people. People sometimes don't have the good information or the right information about people. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Again, my name is Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh, and I'm from Grand Cape Mount County.
Okay.
And my father's name is Lama Fahnbulleh and mother Julia Masakwe.
Okay.
And from a poor background, and at school in Cape Mount where I got my secondary education.
Okay.
And I was in the 9th grade when I was opportune, yes, to go to America in the YES program. I spent a year and then came back. I went back to my senior school and graduated again because I felt that I had to go back. Yeah.
Incredible. So you were in the 9th grade when you got recruited by the YES program.
Yes.
You went to the United States. You spent 1 year there. And after the 1 year program, you came back to Liberia. Went back to the same school.
Yeah, the same school.
That's incredible. We'll talk more about that. We'll talk more about how the experience you acquired from the U.S. and how you took that to the same school and how that impacted other people. But you know, the gratitude program basically is a program that is organized where we go all across the world. We meet people, we talk to them about how their lives have been impacted, you know, by the American people, the generosity of the American people who don't know them, you know, people who they don't share the same creed, the same religion, sometimes the same race, but they were generous enough, you know, to make them, you know, comfortable, to give them, you know, a part in life. That's what the gratitude program is all about. So I have to ask you now, when it comes to America, there's always something to be grateful about. There's always something that someone, all across this world can be grateful for the American people. What is it for you in person?
Actually, I don't have just one. I have few.
All right.
Like first of all, the YES program.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in Cape Mount, really, I never thought I would go to America because I don't have family there. I never had any connection, and then the YES program came. I was successful. When they told me, I couldn't believe it. Yeah, because I was just so, I don't know, say, the way I felt, so I was successful and I went in the program.
How did you get contacted by the program? Were you just like playing? Were you maybe in class? How did you get, first of all, contacted that there's a program called YES program and they were trying to recruit you?
Yeah, I think the people that run the YES program, they went to the various schools in Cape Mount because that year they did recruitment in Cape Mount for me, and they went there. They told the administration that they needed 5 students from the school, and they should be students that have minimum B average, and they should be good at English. So that how the school selected me. I was one of the 5 students. And then we sat the test. We had like 34 students from Cape Mount, they are in other schools. And we sat the test. We were only 3 that passed the test. There were 2 students from the government high school in Rawasport, and then me from Sinje. So we came for the interview, and I was the only one that passed the interview. You were the only one that passed the interview from Grand Cape Mount County. Yeah. That's incredible. Yes. Continue with your story about gratitude to America. Yeah. So after that, I spent one whole academic year with an American family, and they were really good. The Hills, they really treated me like their own. Which state was that? I was placed in Alaska, Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska? Yeah. Wow. All the way over there. Yeah. Okay. It was very cool because coming from Liberia here, where the weather is like always warm, and then going to Alaska. It is, yeah. Yeah, very cool. So I really felt I couldn't make it, but yes, I made it because my host parents, they were always by my side. They made sure I had a very good experience, and then came back. And then I also went again on the Michelle Obama initiative program, that girls learn program. And then came back, and now I'm working with other girls in the community. And currently I'm attending the African Methodist Episcopal University, which was done through my host parents because of the relationship I had with them. Because I came back, I graduated, my parents don't have the money. They never wait. Let's understand that. Yeah. You went to the US. Yeah. You spent 1 year with your host parents. You came back here. You graduated from high school. Now you are in the university. Yeah. And it's been sponsored by your host parents. Parents, because my parents never had the money. My elder brothers, they are all struggling. So that's how I did the entrance, and I passed. I informed them, and they are paying my fees right now. That's incredible. Before we go further, I just want you to just call that family name again, just so our viewers, hear them and understand that these are people who. Did you know them before you left from here to go to America? I never knew. In fact, when I went there the first week, I was so bored, feeling homesick. I used to go into my room and then feel like, what am I even doing here? I don't even know the people, the food, everything is strange. I don't think I'm going to make it. I used to feel very bad. Sometimes I would just sit in the room, cry, and then come out. But after the first 2-3 months, and I was just said to them, and at last, I never wanted to come back. In fact, that was very good to them. And we were all like, all right. There are a lot of people that I have interviewed on the Gratitude Show, and most of them say that the reason most of the time we're not grateful, we don't tell our story of gratitude to the American people, or just gratitude in general, is because of the sense of entitlement. We think that the things that people do for us, they owe it to us. Do you think your host family, those who you didn't know from anywhere, the YES program recruited you, they accepted you in their household, you became a part of them for 1 whole year, and then you back here, they paid your school fee to go to university. Do you think they owe it to you? Actually, they don't really owe nothing to me. They are not forced to do it. Yeah. Because even in the first place, when we went on the YES program, they were only responsible because they were volunteering. They were only responsible to feed us and then give us lunch, where to stay, a safe place, and then provisions. Maybe you want to buy clothes. We used to receive $125 allowance every month to buy things for yourself. But sometimes I never really used to use my money because whenever I needed something, sometimes I don't even need to call for it. It would just get me out to the grocery store to buy things for me. And they were really generous.
Can you call their phone name for the benefit of our viewers? Can you call the phone name of your host parents so that our viewers can know who are the Americans in particular you're talking about? Because the Americans are generous people. They are just a lot of good people in America. When they come together, even as a country, their country is in fact the most generous nation in the world. Just call that name so that our viewers can know that among all of the generous people, these people are also the most generous people as well.
Yeah, they are Mr. and Mistress Hill, Eric Hill and Robin Hill. They have 2 kids, the 2 daughters, Mara Hill and Emma Hill, and they were all very nice to me. They always treat me like their sister.
Let's talk about the YES program in other aspects. And let me also join you to say thank you to the Hills for that kindness, for that love and compassion, that they have shown you, as a young girl in Liberia and but also of the world. Let me join you to congratulate them, to say thank you to them. The YES program, what is it all about?
Actually, the YES program, the program is actually the Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange and Study Program. Okay. It is the program that was organized by 2 U.S.
Just take your time and say that again. You say Kennedy Lugar?
Kennedy Lugar Youth Exchange and Study Program.
Oh, the Youth Exchange and Study Program. You say it was organized
by 2 senators, U.S. senators.
Okay.
Yeah, Senators Ted Kennedy and Richard Lugar.
Oh, okay.
It was after the 9/11 incident that took place in 2001, where the World Trade Center was destroyed, and they really came and they said that they thought that it was done by terrorists, and then they decided to organize this program where they recruit young people between the ages of 15 to 17. That are in countries with significant Muslim population. Yes.
Okay.
Take them to America as youth ambassador, cultural ambassador, stay with an American family, attend American high school, and then share their values, their culture, everything with the people.
That is very important because the understanding is that when you don't know people, there is a tendency, there is the possibility that you will mistake them. Things that you don't know about them, there's a high possibility that you will mistake them, and sometimes even you may even harm them just because you don't know them. And I will give you an example of that. There is one of our senators here in Liberia that I have not seen before, never met her, never interacted with her anywhere, but I've heard all kinds of terrible things about her, right? And then at some point in time, I had to see her in person, and I interacted with this lady, right? And on that moment, I realized that everything that I've heard about her is completely, the opposite of, who she is. So, tell us about that. I mean, today, maybe you didn't know much about the United States, but you went there, you lived there, with the Hills, and also you went to a high school. You interacted with your peers on campus. What can you say about the American culture, which of course you are now an ambassador of?
Yeah, actually, before, when I was little, people used to say a lot of negative things about America. Some people, even up to now, they believe that American people are just wicked people. They try to be nice because they want something.
Yes, that's one thing.
Whenever I hear people say, I always tend to rebuke them because I think it is really like
that's a misunderstanding.
Because the American people, they are very welcoming. They make everything like accessible, and they are like very open up. They accept people. They don't really discriminate. They are really that generous people. The kids, even in the school, because when I did sports, so on the team, I used to be kind of shy because I was not used to the children. They would always come around. Oh, where are you coming from? And they tell us more about your country. So how I say like here, what's the difference? And from there they will invite you. Oh, can we go maybe to the mall, or we should go out for lunch to have dessert together. They are very nice. Whenever I needed help with my assignment, whatever, people are always there to help.
That's good, and it is true that you're saying it because myself experienced it. When I got out of Liberia and went to the U.S., the short time I stayed in America, in fact, let's say the first 2-3 months, my major occupation was just talking to people because people would come, you know, if I go to church after service, people want to talk to me. And some would even invite me to their homes, and I would sit with them. At the church, sometimes they would organize like a get-together, a function, and then they would invite me to go and speak to them. They want to know about me, where I come from, the culture, the people, the politics, the geography. You know, they want to know that. So I agree with you. Most of them are open-minded people. They want to share with you. They want to open their arms, whatever way they can be a help. They're just happy to be a help. But let's stay in America a little bit. The next question I'm going to ask you: what did you understand about gratitude with the American people? Gratitude. How do they take it?
Yeah, actually, the people in America, they take gratitude very seriously.
Did you have any experience?
Yeah, I had let's say a culture shock of waiting. I don't even know how to call it, because when I first went from Liberia here, whenever somebody gave you something, you just say you don't want it, you say no, and that's it. Or if you want it, yes, you just handle it and then go by your business. So when I went, I had a little problem because whenever my host mother, they are really nice people. Okay. So whenever we are trying to have dinner, she would prepare the salad and other things. She would ask me, Master, would you like to have this? And if I don't want, I would just say no, and I'm through with her. And she would be staring at me.
That's what we do. Yeah. I mean, if you don't want it,
know what to say.
Yeah.
And then if I need it, I would say, okay, yes, finish. So one day she really decided to explain to me better. So she told me, she said, Master, you know what? I think that asking you, whenever I ask you whether you want something and you just say yes or no, it's kind of being the kind of rude, sorry to say, or unappreciated, because you know what? Whenever somebody gave you something, if you don't want it, just say no, thank you, because at least they were nice to give it to you. You never asked for it and decided to give it to you. Even if they ask for it, they give it to you, be appreciated. No, thank you. Or if you want it, yes, please. Because you never thought of having anything like that. But when they gave it to you and you knew that yes, you wanted it, at least be appreciated. Tell them thank you or yes, please. So since then, I was just used to it, and whenever they gave me something, even back when some people will complain here, whenever I say thank you, no, people are there, thank you, business. I said no, thank you, because you did well. You did something that it was very kind of you to give me something, so I should be appreciated. So it's just part of my life now.
I like that. So you left from our home here, Liberia.
Yeah.
You went to the United States. Now you place with a family. You have a culture of just saying no when things are extended to you that you don't like.
Yes.
Say no. Now, if you want it, you just take it.
Yes.
Turn your back, you go. Gratitude was not something that you thought you could turn around to speak it out, to say thank you. And that does not mean that probably you were not grateful. Maybe you were grateful for it, you appreciated it, but you didn't see the need to say it.
Yeah.
So now you understand that not only that you should keep gratitude in your heart, but there is a huge part of saying it, expressing gratitude. America has been good to this world for so long. The Peace Corps, you see that in Liberia, right? Yeah. The USAID programs all over the country. There's just so many U.S. organizations doing all sorts of good things around the world. But we have not seen the world coming back on a single platform with a single voice to extend gratitude back to America. Now, this organization, this platform is organized so that people we can be able to reach out to people. We can make the platform available to people, encourage them to say their story of gratitude to the American people. How does that make you feel now? With your experience in the United States about gratitude, and now knowing that there is a platform that is solely dedicated to cultivating gratitude story for Americans in response to the generosity of American people around the world. How does that make you feel as a person?
Actually, I feel very fine and very thankful to you guys for organizing this program, because some people And like some of us have not really had the opportunity to say thank you to America in general.
But you've been feeling that way.
Yeah,
you've been having the feeling to say thank you.
Yeah,
but you have not had
the opportunity.
That same thing happens to me. You know, from 11-year-old, as a refugee in the Republic of Guinea, I was fed by the American people. The school I went to was organized by the American people. You know, the IRC. When I got sick and went to hospital, the American organizations could go in and pay my hospital bills. Now come back to Liberia, the Americans are all over the place. I went to the States. I was extended TPS, temporary protective status. So you can stay here, you don't have to go home, you can stay here while Ebola is in your country, you can live and work, whatever you want, you know, you can. And I lived there comfortably, right? Then I started asking myself, this country that has been so nice to me from 11-year-old, coming to 33 years old, I was burning with the desire to say thank you, but there was no platform for it. That's one of the reasons why this platform, you know, the Join Me Thank America project was organized. So I was the same way. I was hurting. I was looking for a place, you know, to say thank you, and I didn't see it. We'll just go on a short break, and then we'll come back. We'll continue.
Okay.
The Gratitude Show.
At different times in my life, I was a refugee and internally displaced person, and most recently, a beneficiary of the temporary protected status in the United States. All this while, America, the most generous nation on planet, has always been a help. More than race, nationality, creed, and gender, what our world shares in common is the generosity of America. America is not the happiest nation on planet, but America has placed smile on the faces of people like no other country in the world. Join me, thank America. With the price of money, time, sweat, blood, skills, and sometimes lives, America is saving lives and restoring hope in all corners of our world, and at the same time creating most of the most successful people.
The Gratitude Show.
I have my story of gratitude to America. You have yours. No one can better tell your story than you.
Stewardship International, the Join Me Thank America project presents The Gratitude Show. John Frederick Mulba on The Gratitude Show every Tuesday and Thursday at 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. and Sunday at 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. only on Prime TV. The Gratitude Show.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Gratitude Show. My name is Frederick Mulba. Today we are privileged to be sitting with Ms. Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh. Ms. Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh is the president of the Yes Alumni here in Liberia. She just told us about, you know, her gratitude story, or how she felt about wanting to be grateful to the American people, but of course there was no platform available for it, and we were here. Welcome back to the show, Show-Masoline.
Thank you.
I have to ask you this. The Yes program you benefited from to the States, now you're back in Liberia. But before I go to the Yes program, gratitude in itself, saying thank you, appreciation, what does it mean to you as a person? When somebody tell you thank you for something that you've done for them, or when you say to somebody thank you for things that they've done for you, what does thank you, gratitude, what does it mean for you as a person?
Actually, saying thank you to someone is like being very grateful to them for what they have done for you, and I feel that saying thank you can also push them to, it can encourage them to do more, because they feel that the little thing they did for you, you appreciate it, and whenever they see the need, they will continue to do more for you. So I think it is good to always be grateful.
And that will take me back to where we started from.
Yeah.
You went to America, you stayed with the Hills,
Yeah.
and then maybe when you started appreciating them, you came back here. Now you're in college. Still, you know, as a result of the hills helping you. So the YES program is a cultural exchange program, basically academic, but also a cultural exchange event. So how is your experience, you know, the one you generated from America, how is it, how are you transforming that to your local community? How you're the president of the Alumni Association of the YES program in Liberia.
Yeah.
Tell me about some of the programs that you undertake.
Yeah, actually the YES program, since we started having our first alumni, was our part of the second group.
No, the second group.
Yeah, so when we came back, we met the first group. They were involved with other activities, and whenever you come back, they will induct you guys officially into the Alumni Association, and then we start working. So we actually been running programs like volunteerism, community services, going to orphanage homes, disabled homes, organizing the training with young people, career development, girls initiative. Currently we have another two of our alumni. We have Musa, which is he's doing a program in his county, the Interfaith Harmony program, because I think when he was little he noticed that people were having fight between, I think, religious fight, something like that. Yeah. So he decided to have this workshop, and just last month he went back. He did the second training, and then we also have Emmanuel doing the effective English teaching workshop. Yeah, he did it before. He did the second one too. They are running it, and for me, I'm involved with the Girls Initiative program there, where I encourage girls, talk to them about the importance of girls' education, their values, their self-confidence and stuff. And we have other people too doing volunteerism club all over. So we are always busy.
And I see that you very, you know, the self-confidence that you talk about. I see you being so, the confidence, you know, that you have, the spirit, the zeal. Tell me the challenge that you face with making girls to look like you in Liberia. You know, like you are a young lady, right? And that courage, that energy, you know, that you take, you know. I know you weren't like that on tape, probably you went to the States and then you know you started affiliating with other programs that made you like this, right? What difficulties are there? Is it very challenging to make girls acquire the kind of confidence that you have right now?
Yeah, first of all, when we go to them, they kind of feel shy because they feel that what we are doing, they are not capable of doing it, to stand in front of people to talk or to really interact with people. They feel that they are always down there, they are nowhere. And then first of all, I share my story because I also tell them that I used to be like them. Okay. Yeah, and how I overcame the challenge. Your challenge. Yes. Your challenge. So I will share with them my stories and then be very free with them. Oh, we are all sisters, and then bring it down because I don't have to act like because I'm now in college. So I should maybe speak, act like they are very low, like below my status. So I always bring myself down and do it like normally. Very common. Very common. Yeah,
and that's part of the gratitude thing we're talking about. Because how do you see yourself now every time you meet girls, you talk to them about their development, about changing their community, about changing their society, changing their perspective about things? Because you were like them before. Yeah. Now, your situation has changed dramatically as a result of other people's intervention in your life. Now, do you see it as a part of the gratitude to the very society, to this world, because people put into you? And so you see it that you're also responsible, you know, to pass that on. But that's a serious thing, Masoline. You know, you're teaching us a lot on this show today. That's a serious thing. So, in our society, the bulk of the people, even leaders, and I want to pick on our leaders with this one, some of them went to school as a result of people paying school fees for them. I could even say sometimes the Americans themselves, or maybe other organizations, you know, other countries, helping them to acquire the education. So what does that tell you when our society is not really doing well? When there are a lot of people who are leaders and they only got to where they are as a result of other people helping, but they're not doing much back in their communities to change the communities like you were doing. Does that frustrate you?
It really frustrates me and makes me sad because actually they are being selfish and not really grateful to the people, because if you get something from people, you learn from them, you need to tell them that yes, you are really happy or you are proud of what you got from them, and you share with the other people that need it. Right. It is not only about you, for other people. That's the only way we can build our society. We can build one another.
Incredible.
Yeah, and we need to lift one another up.
Incredible. That's a really very good one. I will now take you to your experience with the former President of the United States, Michelle Obama. You can be sure I was going to bring that up, right? Because I know you can be sure I was going to bring that. So, first of all, how did you feel sitting right next to the president, the first lady, the wife of the most powerful single individual in the world? How did you feel coming in very close proximity with the wife of the president of the United States, Michelle Obama?
Wow. Actually, let me just be bold. From the beginning, when I was told that the first lady was coming to Liberia and I was selected to form part of the 23 girls to meet with her, I was kind of nervous and I couldn't even believe that our master would have the opportunity to sit with a first lady to share with her my stories. So when we had the training session, because we had the CNN crew, Asha Sise and
I saw that.
Pinto.
I was in the States at the time when I saw Asha Sise and the entire CNN crew were here, you know, something in the ground, making it, you know, making you guys breaking your nerves, you know,
because they came a day before the arrival of the first lady, so we met at the Peace Corps headquarters, and then they tried to make us feel free,
feel relaxed,
because
prepare you
really
to get you ready to meet the first lady. But tell me about that experience. Tell me about that experience. The way the nerves, you know, the fright, and the processes that led to breaking that nerves, you know, to be able to, because at the end of the day it was about interaction. And when you are not, you know, in the mindset, both bodily, you know, and in your spirit to do that, there's going to be, you know, a fall in the process. There's going to be, you know, it will not be effective. Tell me what led to, how did that spirit get to?
That was fun. Because we had a whole day, the training trying to make us brave to be prepared for the first lady. So we asked so many questions. Everybody that had their own doubts. Other people were asking whether they can touch her, whether they can go closer to her, and then they said yes, because people will be sitting with her and they seem able to discuss. And for me, I asked question whether we would have the opportunity, not only sharing our stories, or whether we'll have the opportunity to ask questions, and they said yes.
What made you so interested in the question aspect? Why were you so keen about questions?
Because I really wanted to learn from her, like her challenges, like where she came from or how she overcame them, and like now that she was like serving as the first lady, how it felt. And I really wanted to know much, because to use it also to use her as an example, to be strong and to continue, like to put more effort.
We will come over there. Tell me about your experience when you met her.
So when I met her, and then we met at the place where we went to meet at the school on Rarafi Highway. And then she came along with her 2 daughters and her mother. We were really excited to see them. And then we had the discussion with her, along with the president.
Madam Ellen Johnson. When I mean, that's a moment.
That was also another opportunity.
That's the president of Liberia, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, the first female president in Africa, right? And then you were also meeting the first black, you know, first lady of the United States. The both of them together. Recollect, go back and tell me, how do you feel up to now when you think about that moment? And you as a person.
I feel very fortunate and special to really be opportune to form part of the other girls that met with her, because as a first lady, and we have so many countries that are facing problems where girls have challenges. And then she decided to choose Liberia and Morocco as my country, really choosing Liberia to coming here
to pay a
visit to us,
sit
with us, listening to our stories. It really makes me feel that yes, we are special, and that she really cares a lot about us. And also our president, she was also there too, to really motivate us. They wanted us to really have that open mind to continue to pursue our dream. That nothing should break us down. We should continue to go for what actually we want. Yeah, and then we met with her and I asked her question, and she was very free, like very open up, smiling.
Down to earth,
yeah,
open-hearted.
and then we even took a photo with her where we were all surrounded by her.
Did you have the opportunity to ask a question on that day?
Yeah.
What was the question?
And my question was how it felt to be a first lady, and then what are some of her challenges?
And that's a very huge question,
yeah.
Because we don't have too many first ladies in the world. Now many first ladies we have. How many countries in the world? Roughly around 200, right? So at a time you can only have 200 first ladies. So that feeling, it's around 200 women in the world.
Yeah.
You know, well some have more than one wife. So, but anywhere around there, right?
Yeah.
So that was the question. What was her answer to you?
So I asked her for her challenges,
Yeah.
the disadvantage,
Yeah,
the advantage,
Yeah.
and how she really overcame them. And she said if anyone would have told her when she was little that she was going to be a first lady, she would have laughed at them because she never even thought that she could be a first lady.
Wait,
that was the answer she gave to my question.
You were the one who asked that
the
question?
Yeah, I asked the question.
Incredible, because I heard her, and that's one of the entire visit to Liberia, right?
Yeah.
That was my extract. That was my takeaway, you know, from her visit to Liberia. When she made that statement, up to today, I'm not a female, but as a young man, or as a person who has a dream that I'm still pursuing in this world, I take that very closely to my heart, because it tells me that people who accomplish, people see themselves to places not just by mistake, but it's by hard work, but you also have to be dedicated. I did not know that you were the one who answered that question.
Yeah.
So, but what, you asked a question because you wanted an answer. What is it that answer means to you up to today?
Yeah, actually the answer like really proved to me that no matter what your situation may be, what you may be going through, just keep focused, because you never know what is ahead of you. So whenever the opportunity comes, you will be prepared to handle it and to serve the position you will come across. So just continue to go for your dream, remain yourself, never try to be any other person to say yes, you want to get into the person's shoe to be like them. Just try to improve yourself, be yourself your own way, and then pursue your dream. So it really motivated us, and I'm actually going to use that to reach to where I'm really pushing.
Up to today, you're saying that is still a big part of your motivation, because that's the word I'm taking from you
and
today.
I feel special because I asked the question and the answer she gave. So
and
always
and how did you feel, for example, if you go on YouTube up to now and in trying to watch the video when Michelle, when the first day, let me not be, when the first day came to them, up to now on the YouTube, the answer to your question is still used. It's being used everywhere. It's still taking attention. How do you feel? Because that was a big part. How do you feel that you are the one who pulled, that expression out of the first lady?
Yeah, I feel very proud of myself that I asked questions.
Certain question. Yeah.
Like every other person, like other women out there, other even individual out there, they are interested in like asking to really know the answer. So I feel very proud.
Now, the first lady leaves Liberia, goes to Morocco, left Morocco, and then after her tour went back to the United States.
Yeah.
And then you went back to the United States and sat with her in the White House.
White House.
Tell me about that.
Oh my God. Actually, I don't even know how to describe this.
Try, please.
Yeah, because it really makes me feel very, very special, like a blessing, because first
a girl from Cape Mount.
From Cape Mount, from a poor family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then really happens to go to the White House where people that even have money.
Yeah.
Other people that having the higher position, they don't even have the opportunity to go there. But I was opportune to enter the White House, to even like have dinner with Mr. Obama and other delegates like Meryl Streep. I felt very, very special. I don't even know, really the feeling is kind of really emotional. Yeah, that opportunity I will never forget. Enter the White House. Whenever I even go through my photos and then look at myself walking on the red carpet.
The red carpet?
Yeah. I just want to have the same like experience. I just feel like going back there again and see myself right on it. Because Mrs. Obama, she's really a good woman. She's very powerful.
She's an American.
Yeah.
A lot of Americans are good people.
So I'm really grateful to her as well. She really did extremely well for us. She really built our strength. She motivated us a lot, and she's still doing that.
What does that tell you anytime you're trying to give up on a dream? Anytime there are challenges, anytime you're facing the real issues of life, and sometimes you want to give up, if you have had any moment like that, what does that tell you? Do you feel that I cannot give up because I have something in me, that was planted by somebody special, and I'm an ambassador, of that person, and I have to make sure that that dream, passes through me as a light for other people? How do you feel when you have a second thought on things that you're going through?
Yeah, I just want to explain something.
Yeah.
That I experienced, because when I graduated from high school, and I did the UL entrance, to enter the university. The state university is very high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you don't have the contact, you pay do other stuff to enter. Yeah. So I took the entrance. I understand. 2 years.
It costs the hand and the leg to enter.
Yeah. So I took the entrance for the first time and I was unsuccessful. In the second year, I was not successful, so I decided to go to a cosmetology school. Yeah, and always my host parents, they were always asking, "So, Masa, how is everything? What are you up to?" And because I already told them from the beginning that I have a dream of becoming a journalist.
A journalist.
Yeah, and my host father is a journalist. He works with the newspaper in English. Yeah.
Incredible.
And my host mother too, she was once a journalist, but now she's teaching.
Wow.
So they really want to push me.
See you through as a journalist.
To achieve that dream. So whenever I tell them that, I'm attending a cosmetology school, they will say, "Oh yeah, that's cool," but not really like the way
they roll their eyes, and rub their arms, like.
And then I really haven't told them anything about, I want to go to so and so school because I wanted to take the entrance, be successful.
Before you can tell.
So after I went on the program, the Michelle Obama program, I went to the White House. I came back, and that made me very, very brave.
Okay.
I decided but then I kept continuing to sit and wait for the University of Liberia. I think I would try because I was afraid, thinking that the private universities, they are very expensive, the money. So I was really brave and I was pushed. I registered for the entrance at the African Methodist Episcopal University and I was successful. I informed my host parents, sent the result, everything, and there, decided to pick my feet, and now I'm in school.
So, with no disrespect or disregard for those doing cosmetology, but you said to yourself, the dream
that was not my dream.
The dream that's in me is bigger than this. For now, I have to go to college, and I mean a four-year college. That's really incredible. Now, there's more to that Michelle Obama visit. There is more to it, because she obviously wouldn't be First Lady forever, as she's no longer First Lady right now. But now that she's gone, as President of the United States, and you were here, Brainy, do you see her as a role model in any case?
Yeah, I still see her as a role model, not because she's not a First Lady again, but she still has the passion.
Yeah.
In fact, that was one of the reasons why she brought her 2 girls along, because she said she really wanted them to feel that yes, this girls program is really something that she has.
Okay.
Yeah, she really valued it, she wanted to continue. So maybe even the day maybe she's no more, she wants them to know that yes, she really have passion for it and she will want to see it continue.
If you have the power today and the will, the money, and the intellect and everything, will you push the Let Girls Dance program further?
Yes. Oh, in fact, right now I just wish I would have the money now to continue to extend it.
To extend it.
Yeah.
That's really good. We'll be right back.
The Gratitude Show.
Welcome back to the Gratitude Show. My name is Frederick Morba. Today we're privileged to be sitting with Miss Masaline Fahnbulleh. Miss Masaline Fahnbulleh is sharing her story of gratitude with us, and at the same time telling us, about her own courage, to do good for this world, seeing herself as an ambassador, seeing herself as somebody who's carrying the seed, of the generosity of the other people. And like I said, we're sitting right here at the bank of the St. Paul's River on Fahnbulleh Island. Fahnbulleh Island is right outside the capital city of Liberia, Monrovia, and in West Africa. Masaline, you're welcome to the Gratitude Show. Yes. We are going to end this thing right now. How did you feel when you heard that over 200 girls were adopted in Nigeria by militant fighters? How did you feel? At the time you were also in high school, I guess. How did you feel? How did you receive that story?
Yeah, when I really heard about it, I felt very, very heartbroken because I see that it was so many girls that future were going to be damaged because taking them out of school, carry them, maybe some of them, I'm probably sure that they were raped, have children by them and then carry them backwards. Some of them will even die. I'm pretty sure die in the process. So I really felt very bad and I put it in my own shoes. What if it was me? So I really felt very terrible about it.
How did you feel when the then First Lady, Michelle Obama, First Lady of the United States, how did you feel when she was a big part of that campaign, Bring Back Our Girls? When you heard it, you as a girl, school growing girl in Liberia, how did you feel hearing that the president of the First Lady, of the most powerful nation in the world, had joined a campaign, to rescue those girls? How did you feel personally?
Personally, I feel that we girls, we are very special, and as a First Lady, also forming part of that, to really see that the girls are back makes me feel that we play a very big role in the society and we are really needed in the role that is playing in the society, and that she really stand with us, she really take us seriously. She really have like dream for us, passion for us. She wanted us to become like who we really want to become. Even more than her, because it's possible that we could be more than her. Of course. Because she served as First Lady. It's possible that we serve
some of you will serve as president for your countries. And you will preside over the destiny of your own people. So it was like seeing somebody who is taking up your cause, taking up the responsibility, to defend girls even in remote places. So it doesn't matter where you live, it doesn't matter who are you. You might be in some of the most remote parts of the world, but there's somebody, you have a friend, in some of the big places, in some of the most powerful places in the world, like the White House.
Our problems, our feelings, everything. Because the children was not her children.
No.
They're not her relatives.
No.
But she just felt that as a woman, she should protect the right of women and also the future of girls, because we have great future ahead of us. So she needed to really protect us, yeah, to achieve.
That's a very good one. What does that tell you about people in our communities, in our societies? And I want to focus on Liberia now with that one. How do you feel knowing that somebody from thousands of miles away will care about your life or the lack of you? But there are people, for example, in your very community who will aggress young children, molest them, traffic them. What does that make you feel?
Yeah, it makes me feel very sad to know that even our own people, they don't really care about our well-being, about our future, but someone from a very far away place, she really have that love for us, she really care about us. It makes me really feel sad about my own people, but very grateful to her and very happy that she cares. She continues to prove that she really cares about girls around the world.
I agree with you. Just about 100%. Every time I hear the story of rape, every time I hear about child trafficking, every time I see children selling in the street, for example. And don't get me wrong, some of them probably we don't know their individual stories, but some of them maybe have their fathers and mothers around, but they have to go fetch for their own food. They have to. It really breaks my heart. Your part in comment, because I know we could just spend the whole day talking about the goodness of the American people, in our lives and stuff like that. But before we can go to your part in comment, one more last question. Where do you want to see yourself in the next maybe 10 years, 15 years, as a career, as your future? Where are you fighting to see yourself? But there's so much burning in you, I can see it, and there's a lot, that have already been invested in you as a person. Where do you see yourself, in the future?
Yeah, that is
a big question.
Yeah, big question. Actually, I want to become a journalist.
Okay.
And from the time I served as child broadcaster, I just developed the interest. And then sometimes my friend tell me, why can't you be a female lawyer? Because I'm always standing up for girls, for women. I'm always there. I don't even give up.
You can go and be a journalist and still
so I can stay, and that's why I always tell them I can still be a female journalist, and I can really stand for the right of women and girls. So I can continue. And being a journalist, not just in my country, but I see myself becoming an international journalist.
Okay.
Like you see Asha Sese, she's a Sierra Leone.
Yeah.
When she was there, she never really thought she would.
I believe so.
Yeah, work with CNN.
I believe so.
Yeah, but because she was focused, but with the help of God, and she really continued to push on. Now she's working with CNN.
I have to tell you something about journalism. I am not one. I'm just a gratitude campaigner, right? But journalists are some of the incredible, people in our world. It's a huge profession. They are the one who tell our stories. They're the one who go to the front lines. So many journalists have died covering stories. I ask myself, if we didn't have people who would muster the courage to go to the difficult places, to collect the stories, even the generosity of the American people we're talking about. Americans are generous because they hear our stories, and they hear our stories through what? The journalists, and stuff like that. So it's a very huge and noble profession that comes with sacrifices as well. Are you strong enough to go through the sacrifices?
Of course, yes. In fact, my mother, she don't even want me to really become a journalist.
Why?
She always say that journalists die when people are fighting war. They have to go there to cover stories, and through that, most of them died. So she don't want me. She prefer me doing like medicine, be a medical and stuff. And I keep telling her that I don't have passion for anything around medicine, so I can't do it. What I'm really passionate about is what I will do, because I have the dream. I really want to become a journalist, and no matter what happens, I will do it. If it happens that I die there, fine. Then that was what God signed, no problem. But I will still feel fine in my grave that yes, I continue to fight.
I wanted to do something.
Yeah, and I was doing it until I died while doing it.
That sounds like an American. That's how American people would say it. You know, once you die, you know, doing what you love, you know, that's the best way to live this this life. Your partner coming. Because I could just keep you here for the whole day, but we have to go. Your partner coming.
Yeah, I will once again want to thank the Almighty God.
Yeah.
And then second, to thank you for really affording this opportunity. Yeah, to be grateful to America, and then to America because they have done a lot of things. Even the Peace Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I was in the 12th grade.
Yeah.
I had 2 Peace Corps in my school. I had 1 biology and math, and then that math
Peace
teacher.
Corps teachers?
Yeah, even the math teacher, because he noticed that we were not really nowhere in math.
You were not good at the math.
Yeah, and he decided to carry us down to the level. Even the principal, they had problem with it because he wanted to carry us down there so that we can have the foundation to really understand everything before he could carry us up. He had problem. He said you are wasting our time, but he really had the passion. He really wanted us to know it. So I have so many things to tell America thank you for, and everybody, my host parents, I'm always thankful to them. I will continue to be grateful. Their family, friends, and then my family too for their support. So,
thank you, Miss Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to shake your hands the Liberian way.
Yes, my pleasure.
Yes, and I'm going to join you to in this minor extend gratitude to your host parents for what they've done and what they're still doing in your life, because that's what this organization is about. We're not just coming to you to tell your story, but we were also going to make sure that those who have done all of this good, you know, all these sacrifices on your behalf, we're going to make sure that they see this video. We're going to make sure we reach out to them, that they have made this world better for you as a person, and you are grateful, you know, in return. The reason we do that also, Masoline, is to let the world knows that there's a lot of, you know, stories out there about people not caring, about people not really doing anything. There's a lot of story that it's just the survival of the fittest. It's just Darwinism. You know, the world, you know, it's all about you. And people with greed, you know, are making this world to look like that. But that's not true. There's just so many people in this world, you know, that are living their lives saving and serving other people. And that's why this platform is created for, just so we, those of us who are beneficiaries in return. If I start explaining to you how the Americans have made me become, we'll just spend the whole day here. And that's why this organization is all about we meet and we talk. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Before we just finish, I'm forgetting that some people, like we have other Peace Corps that are also working on girls program. Since we came from the Michelle Obama program, we have Miss Allison, Sister Lee.
Here in Liberia?
Here in Liberia. In fact, every last weekend in the month we meet at the Doe Palace, the Peace Corps Concours in Kakata.
Okay.
We always go there and then we learn more techniques, they train us, and then we come back in the community to engage our fellow sisters here. So I want to be grateful to them too, because they are working very hard.
Thank you so much, and we're going to reach out to them. Viewers, thank you very much for staying with us today. This has been a new brand edition of the Join Me Thank America project, the Gratitude Show. As you may be aware, this is a Stewardship International initiative. We had the opportunity to sit with Miss Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh. Miss Show-Masoline Fahnbulleh comes a very huge, you know, gratitude for the American people. And we've just been having a good time today. Thank you for joining us. It has been a very good interaction. Thanks for staying there. This presentation came your way. We're sitting right at the bank of the St. Paul's River on Bushro Island. Bushro Island is right outside Liberia, Liberia's capital, Monrovia. It's in West Africa. And as the way we do it the same way. If you want to tell your story, you can contact us. You know, right at the foot of this video, you'll find our information, the telephone numbers, our website, our emails are there. Send us email and we can set up an interview for you just like this. So you tell your story of generosity to the American people. Tell your story, you know, how grateful are you, how your life has been impacted, you know, by the sacrifices, by the love and compassion of other people, other government. That is the way we will keep this world generous. That is the way we will keep people reaching out to one another. That is the way we will keep energizing and keeping the euphoria, you know, of aid, you know, of benevolence in this world, of magnanimity. Join us on the next edition. It will be coming your way on a gratitude show. And of course, this is a Stewardship International initiative. Thank you. Bye-bye. My name is Frederick Morba.